Hello, this is Justin from Auto Trading Academy. So in this video I'm going to show you how I managed to find and create this multi-market trading strategy over 9 different currency pairs using the Portfoliolizer tool and StrategyQuant software. Now bear in mind this is one strategy backtested over 9 different pairs. It's not lots of different strategies created on different currency pairs and then put in a portfolio. So that's why the equity curve isn't perfectly upward sloping, because that's exactly what we expect for one strategy tested on different pairs. It's going to be almost impossible to find a strategy that's has a perfect equity curve on so many different currency pairs. So the goal here was sort of to find a strategy that's exhibiting good multi-market robustness, and I think 9 pairs is pretty good. Usually it's pretty hard to even find something that works on 3 or 4 currency pairs with a good equity curve in terms of portfolio, not even talking about 9. So it's going to be really interesting to see the results of this strategy once we launch it live for trading. So the goal, again, as I said, was to find a strategy that's showing good multi-market robustness over lots of different currency pairs. But obviously you can combine that with further robustness tests, parameter robustness tests, and so on. And that's something you can even do later on, or even incorporate in the process of the development of these portfolios using the tools that we'll show you. So let me get into the actual steps of how I basically found this in the Portfoliolizer, and then we'll quickly go over of what I did in StrategyQuant, so that it's not too boring for everyone. So basically, if I go into Portfoliolizer, once I uploaded my CSV pack, so you can see here 26 pairs, 6553. So basically this came from 10,000 strategies, and then I managed to get it down to 6,500, and then I got it down to 640 strategies. So actually it's 640 strategies. I should actually probably rename that because it is quite confusing. So I'm just go ahead and 640 from 6553, and I can select the file and basically upload it. So this is where all of my CSV files are, as you can see, from all the strategies I retested. And basically I just upload the archive, which is basically the zip of all of these files, and then click upload, and you can see it's uploading here. Create new CSV pack, and we go to my pack list. So now we know it's basically 26 pairs on 640 strategies, which was initially created from 66553, which again came from 10,000. So I'll get into those steps, how I did that in StrategyQuant later on. I want to just cover the Portfoliolizer here quickly. So select all the CSV files, and I'm looking for something that has at least, let's say, 5 currency pairs for now. My first criteria will be stability. So let's look for something 0.7. That's usually a good one to try. Let's do a quick scan. Oh god, there's quite a lot, but I can see there's some strategies that have definitely quite a few strategies that are working on quite a few currency pairs. Okay, so let's make this let's pin this down a bit more. Let's choose 8 strategies, so 0.7. Okay, so now we've only got these left. Okay, so let's narrow this down a bit more, and let's use something a bit stricter, 0.8. Okay, so that's basically how I found this strategy. So there's only one strategy that has a stability of 0.8, minimum 0.8. So that doesn't mean all of them have 0.8. Some might have higher. So 0.89, as you can see, 0.832, 0.84. And these are all real tick tests, by the way. 0.89. So tick data is 0.87, 0.83, 0.86, 0.9. Okay, and 0.89. So all exhibiting pretty good stuff. And as we can see, actually that's not 8, it's 9 currency pairs. So if I do the scan again, this is the only strategy that has a stability of at least 0.8 over 9 different currency pairs. Now obviously here I can add return to drawdown ratio greater than at least 2, and let's see if we can filter more stuff out. Okay, so they all have at least 2. What about 3? Okay, we have 3. Yes, they have all at least 3, so that's good. Stability of 0.8 and 0.3. I don't expect much more for so many currency pairs. That's very good. Okay, what about 4? Maybe we'll get lucky. Nope. So some of them obviously are below 4. But again, bear in mind this is a minimum. I'm sure a lot of these have a return to drawdown of much higher. Now another thing I want to see is actually also the number of sort of trades there as well. I'm not going to put in anything there. I'm just going to select it so it shows me when I scroll over it. Okay, so stability, return to drawdown 9. So as you can see, not all of them have 3, so that's 4. So they're all actually, most of them are above 4, 5, okay, 3. So this is sort of the weakest one in terms of return to drawdown. 3.5, 8.3, 6. So basically there's 2 which have relatively lower return to drawdown. And as you can see, I put trades in there. I can see the number of trades as well. So you can basically play around with these 3 metrics to see what you want to include and so on, what you want to see when you scroll over, and so on. So best is to pick obviously a couple of these, and then we'll move on to sort of retesting and actually putting these in Quon Analyzer software. So that's one I want to check out. Okay, now let's find something. Maybe let's go for something that's got good return to drawdown. So again, let's go back to 5 strategies and return to drawdown of 5 at least. Have we got something? And yes, we've got one strategy that's working on 5 different pairs. What about 4 maybe? Just let's see how big the list is. Okay, so there aren't many, but as you can see, these are all 4, and these are all 5 strategies. So this is all at least 5. Okay, what about 6? So 6 return to drawdown. There's only basically 4 currency pairs maximum, and so you could basically pick and choose and write these strategy names down, and then obviously later on we'll go and pick them out and put them in Quon Analyzer software. So pick 2 or 3 or 4. I'm really interested in the ones that have a lot. So let's see what else could we do here. Maybe return to drawdown of 3 and at least 5. Let's see what we got. Actually, return to drawdown of 4 and at least 4. Let's see what's the result. Okay, yeah, we've got quite a few. So all of these have returned. Again, it's the same strategy as you can see. Right, so what we could do is just select 5 here, and we're down to these. So you could pick all of these if you wish to test out. It's good to test out a lot of strategies. It's sort of the only way to see what's going to be profitable later on. So as you can see, I've got a nice list. My main one again was this one, and once I got that name down, again I could export it. Here I could download this as a CSV file and have a look at the results there if I wish. But I know the strategy name, and basically what I want to do next is go to my backup of the strategies, not this one here, and I can type in basically, what was the strategy name again? This is where you start forgetting. So just copy the strategy name, and you can type that in here, and basically just, you know, now you need to, if you haven't obviously saved the real tick data test for each strategy, you would need to retest this again on all of those different pairs. So that's why it's a good idea to retest, you know, once you do the retesting, to actually save every single currency pair's real tick data test, so that later on when you want to, you know, combine them into a portfolio, you can just, you know, pick them out like this from each bucket, and then combine them into portfolio. So once I have that strategy, you can see here I've got my different choices: 3 pairs stability of 9, 4 pairs stability of 0.8 and return to drawdown of 6, 5 pairs return to drawdown of 5, 9 pairs stability of 0.3 and return to drawdown of 3. So this is my sort of main one, and as you can see here, I've got all of them saved up already, and essentially basically I've got my strategy files here, and what I'm doing here, as you can see, I've got RT over here. I'm actually performing now parameter robustness tests on each one, with at least 500 simulations with the real tick data. So it does take a while, you know, good 3-4 hours for one strategy with real tick data, and then you can, you know, save them over the strategy, because essentially they're all, you know, basically the same. So once I've done that, I want to import this into Quon Analyzer, and as you can see here, I've imported them up in here, and you just click create portfolio, and there it is. There's your portfolio, and basically, yeah, there it is. You can go and have a look at that. Another thing you might want to do afterwards is, again, it's might change your initial deposit. So first have a look at your overview. As you can see, I've got return drawdown of 12% and $177. So effectively this is very good for 9 pairs. So I would be trading this with at least $1,000, because at least $900, because, you know, that's $100 for each currency pair. It's sort of good rule of thumb to use. But as I can see, the drawdown is pretty low, so I could even use 500 here and, you know, risk a bit more, you know, have much higher risk, but now my returns are much greater. As you can see, obviously my percentage drawdown goes up, but my return to drawdown ratio, everything basically sort of goes up. Even I could even use 300 here technically, and I would get, you know, I would get 30% drawdown with, if I change this to percentage stats in a minute, pips, here we go, percentage. As you can see, I've got now 11.58% per month average profit, so that's pretty good. You know, obviously if I put this to 1,000, that's gonna give me 3.46%, which is very decent, and that's probably what I would trade it at, actually, with $1,000. And on these pairs, as you can see, these are the sub equity curves. The correlations, let's have a look. Hourly, it's gonna be usually it's pretty good always. Yeah, good. Daily, yeah, I can see there's one strategy that has some correlation, but still, that's not, daily is not a problem. Weekly, there's a bit more, there's a few more coming out. I actually tend to prefer the higher ones. Look at the correlation on a larger scale. I prefer to look at the monthly. And I can see there is one strategy, dollar chef and euro dollar, that has slightly moderate correlation, but the rest are within the sort of good realm, so I'm not too bothered. And this is actually an hourly based strategy, and on an hourly scale it's all beautiful and great in terms of correlation. So very interesting to see the results of this, you know, how it's going to perform. You know, it is pretty hard to find strategy that works over so many different pairs, you know, with StrategyQuant or anything in that manner. So this Portfoliolizer tool does actually help a lot in sort of scanning the matrix for you of possibilities. So I'll go over how I quickly did this with StrategyQuant, not to bore you too much. So obviously first you want to have your data ready. So as you can see, I have all my tick data for all the different currency pairs, and then basically what I did is I generated 10,000 strategies on minute data from 2007. I retested everything with real tick data, and because my laptop here actually isn't so good, I'm going to make these italic. Because my laptop isn't so good, it's just a simple laptop with 4 logical cores, I couldn't really, you know, it basically would take a really long time to do with 10,000 strategies. So I wanted to have something like 1,000 in my data bank. So I thought I'll mix this up a bit, and I'll add the robustness test sort of here already in my generation process. So what I did basically is I retested everything real tick data. I deleted all strategies, this was done on euro dollar, that are below return to drawdown of 4, and as you can see here, if I sort by return to drawdown, my lowest one here, as you can see, is 4. And once I did that, I saved them as a backup, as you can see, and basically, yeah, once I did that, I retest them all again with minute data this time, using robustness tests, you know, parameter change robustness tests, and then I deleted them all again, everything that was below 2. So that killed off most of the strategies, and I was left with 640 strategies, and I just actually imported them here into the optimizer just so you can have a look very quickly. Again, the same strategies, the highest ones here are with 16 and the lowest with 4. So I was basically left over with less than 1,000, which I was very happy with for this laptop, and that's something, you know, it could handle. And basically, yeah, and then I retested all of those 640 with real tick data on 26 currency pairs. So basically all of that you could potentially skip. If you've got a good computer, I advise actually not to delete anything, just basically generate like 10, 20 or like 50,000 strategies and try and basically retest them all on tick data and save basically all the STR files for each pair and the CSV files once you've done the retesting. Zip them up as I showed you before and upload them to Portfoliolizer. Sorry, that's my email coming up. So yeah, basically that's exactly what I did, and you can check sort of here in my generation hourly 65 Portfoliolizer 640. So here my leftovers from 10k backup, 640 backup after robustness tests, real tick tests on 640 26 pairs. So these are all the CSV files. I did actually make a mistake of not saving all the strategy files, which I regretted later on very much, because I had to retest that strategy on 9 different pairs, which wasn't too much of an issue, but it obviously that, you know, it saved me a lot of disk space, you know, because saving all the strategies does take up some space. And then I've made all these folders for all the strategies I chose, and basically you can you know, create the portfolio for each one of these and check them out. So that's pretty much it on this video. Hopefully you guys enjoy this tool and see how this works. You know, hopefully you find, you know, something that works on all 26. That's sort of the goal, to find a strategy that really is exhibiting very, very good, you know, returns on lots and lots of different currency pairs. You know, it would be fun to find something that works on at least 20, and then launch that live to see the results and so on. So please do inform us of your results and how everything's going on, and I hope that you guys are going to have good trading and good multi-market trading strategies coming out of the pipeline. So I'll see you in the next videos, guys. Bye.